Dzień dobry, Liska. Wczoraj sobie trochę pogadaliśmy odnośnie Assassin's Creed Shadows. Wczoraj w sumie po strumyku przeglądałem znowu sobie YouTube i doszła do mnie informacja o premierze Flintlock, The Stage of Dawn, która no, tak chyba nie do końca wypaliła. Wszyscy oczekiwali, że jednak będzie to zacna premiera, gra będzie zarąbista i tak dalej. Jednak się okazało, że nie. Akurat teraz One Gold zrobił materiał, to jest tam niecałe 20 minut. Posłuchamy sobie i zobaczymy, co tutaj ciekawego jest. Ja kawałek się zaznałem z tym tematem, więc co nieco wiem, natomiast zobaczmy całość.
Nearly every single game that has had Sweet Baby Ink's name attached to it has been a financial or critical failure, and that doesn't seem to be changing anytime soon. But now their latest release, Flintlock Siege of Dawn, is out. The critics are only giving it decent reviews, but there is basically no...
Nie wiem, czy zauważycie, ale zobaczcie, jaki jest pik tutaj graczy. Ile teraz grać, przynajmniej wtedy, jak postawaliście, to jest 18 lipca, czyli 3 dni temu, dokładnie mówiąc, więc wow.
Nobody playing it. I have a few things to show off, but before I get
Tak,
into
The First
the
Descendant.
topic, if you enjoy...
The First Descendant zdecydowanie lepiej sobie radzi niż Flintlock. O mój Boże święty, ilu? 400 graczy w tym momencie, 533 24-godzinny pik, a przez ostatnie 2 dni 648 graczy, która gra w tą grę. Holy shit. To tylko świadczy o tym, że jednak ludziom się zaczynają otwierać oczy i jednak no, nie będą kupować, grać ani promować gier, która jest robiona przez studia, która... No wiadomo. Sweet Baby Ink. O tak.
Enjoy the content I
500
create, check out
people
the links
playing
in
it
the
right now.
description, join the community in my live
There
streams,
there
and
it
consider
is.
supporting through
500.
Patreon or YouTube.
I żeby nie było, Asmon chyba kiedy wydał ten? 10 godzin temu. Czyli tak de facto wczoraj oglądał? Dzisiaj? Jakoś tak, nie? Więc świeżutkie.
YouTube memberships. Now I have to talk a lot on this channel about Sweet Baby Ink. It's really the company that kind of set Gamergate 2 into motion, that gained a lot of attention very quickly, and people are not happy with the content that they are working on.
I think Sweet Baby is like, obviously I'm not a fan, but I also think that it's a bit of a like a witch hunt where like people are really mad at them. But it's not like they've invaded these, it's a boogeyman, it is. Because it's not like they've invaded these studios and they've like busted in and they said, oh hey, we're gonna...
I dobry przykład jest przy Black Myth Wukong, gdzie właśnie Sweet Baby Ink próbował wjechać tam z buta i zaliczyli sobie ile? Ile tam? 7 milionów dolarów chcieli, kurde? Że im doradzą i jeszcze tak naciskali strasznie. Akurat twórcy Gonga powiedzieli, tam macie drzwi i wypad, więc...
Change all your games, we're gonna make everybody here a woman. No, they're welcomed with open arms and paid for coming. Like, there's a reason for that. Yeah, they're being paid to do that. Like, the people that work there want them to be there. It's not like it's some kind of random, you know, chance.
And ultimately altering.
Yeah, they're getting paid to do it.
But now, their latest release, Flintlock Siege of Dawn, has finally come out, and boy, is it already looking like a disaster. Now, first off the bat, I have to say, it is a terrible idea.
Mnie ciekawi, czy w ogóle będą teraz jakiekolwiek patche wychodzić do tej gry, skoro taki chujowy start mieli. Czy nie porzucą po prostu, nie? To mnie ciekawi.
For companies to launch on a
Swoją drogą zobaczmy, ile teraz jest.
unless you are already a massive studio like From Software can launch on any...
It doesn't matter. Yeah, if you have a good game, your launch day
Dokładnie.
matters a little bit, right? But I think that a really good example of this is like Enshrouded. Enshrouded came out like a few days after Pal World did. And Enshrouded still had over 100,000 people playing it because it was a very good game.
any day of the week, right? But when you are...
Czyli w chwili obecnej 463 graczy w grze. 24-godzinny pik 549. Nie przebiło tego. 3 dni gra już wyszła i nie przebiło 648, nie? Okej.
Relatively
Yeah.
unknown for your smaller studio, it is not smart to launch on a weekday, especially in the morning. And that is exactly what happened with Flintlock Siege of Dawn. Thursday morning, they said to themselves, this is the best time to launch a game. So, of course, going into launch weekend, I am sure that we are going to see slightly higher player numbers. But for launch,
Nope. Guess not. Can't win them all.
these are just
Dokładnie.
terrible to go off of at this point in time. As you can see, judging by the Steam charts, so far, very bad. Players in the game right
Very bad to jest takie dosyć mocno, delikatnie bym powiedział, to jest kurde porażka na całej linii. To jest porażka na całej linii takiego studia. Oh boy, ciekaw jestem ile zapłacili Sweet Baby Inc. za doradztwo.
now 600, and of course the all-time peak was 2 hours ago at launch with 607 people online.
It
Now,
went up,
of
guys.
course there are
It went
some
all the way.
Tak, Asmon tutaj pokazuje, że 2 dni temu 648, a ja oglądam w sumie na trzeci dzień, czyli za bardzo się nic nie zmieniło, więc i tutaj jest 510 osób w grze, u mnie było akurat mniej niż 500, więc
Way to
caveats to this
648.
because it is on Game Pass, and I do think that it
I
probably
love how people were coping, saying it's actually doing well on Game Pass. I'm sure that there are dozens of people that are playing it on Game Pass at this very moment. Yeah, what do you guys think? Like maybe like 80 people? Like maybe a few hundred, maybe?
is getting quite a bit of traction that way. But of course, we know that Game Pass really isn't all that positive for studios. We've heard several developers come out and say, well, we do still ultimately rely on individual sales
Yeah, of
off
course.
of Game Pass. And I'm sure
Yeah,
that
Larian
this
said that.
studio is as well. But, well, it doesn't look like many people are going to really be buying this or financially supporting it. Now, of course,
I would have played this game if it had come out on a day that nothing else was going on. I would have, because I played Starfield, I played Forspoken, because like the funny thing is that when I play a bad game, it's more popular than when I play a good game, because I will make a good game look bad because I play like a retard, but if I make a bad game look bad by playing like a retard, people say, wow, this game's even worse than I thought, because it confirms their biases.
Okay.
Do not trust critic reviews. I play
Yeah, so
things
the bad
myself,
game
give them a
plays
shot
are even
myself,
more
and
popular.
it will be interesting to see how users
Serious.
rate this game. But so far, it's only looking decent for this. Now, a 71 is not awful by any
Decent, przeciętna jest. No to chyba tam na 18 recenzjach krytyków, no to chyba ostro zapłacili, kurde, za tym krytykom, żeby tak ocenili, nie? Wow.
means.
A 71, a 7 out of 10 is very high. That's a good game. Like if somebody tells me a game is a 7 out of 10, I'm going to think that like this is an above average game. If a game comes out and it has 700 peak players, it's not a 7. Because if it was, it would have more people playing it.
Dokładnie.
Come on.
Dokładnie.
But we are talking about critics who do generally support the messaging and ultimately
Exactly. You should never take critics seriously.
the ideology.
Dlatego warto teraz w obecnych czasach brać jednak nie krytykę, krytyków, bo za to można zapłacić, no nie oszukujmy się, takie są czasy, dadzą kasę, zrób mi ten recenzję jakiejś gry i jakiegoś znanego krytyka i jest pozytywne, jak mnie patrzeć, no bo zapłacił za to, znaczy zapłacili mu za to. Natomiast bardziej właśnie warto ufać słowom innym graczom, chociaż to też trzeba na to uważać. Czasami są też przesadzone, na przykład review bomby są. Natomiast w dzisiejszych czasach raczej bardziej opinie graczy się liczą niż krytyków z racji właśnie takiej, że no opłacani są. Za mocno opłacani są.
That is
Except
shoved
me.
into products like this. So you
Of
would
course.
think that, of course, they are going to look past all of the technical issues and any story issues, right, in order to promote a game that supports their ideology. But ultimately, even they're saying it's not perfect. It does things well, like the open world, and it is a fun experience that blends action and the Souls-like genre together. But
I thought they were. I guess this confirms it. I guess they are using AI to write articles now. Huh. Well, there it is. It's confirmed.
it's still got issues. Now, of course, I don't necessarily think that, again, the critics are to be trusted, but it is interesting seeing them giving the game these scores. And of course, when it comes to Sweet Baby
Dobra, i zobaczmy, co my tu mamy. The Gamer dało 3,5 na 5, nisko moim zdaniem. 3,5 dał też Games Radar, też jest dosyć nisko, chociaż w sumie na 5 to jest dosyć wysoko, nawet bym powiedział. Chociaż Windows Central dało 4 na 5, więc to już w ogóle jest wysoko. 7,5, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7 i później jest Press Start. 6, Well Played 6, Gaming Trend 6, PC Gamer 60 na 100, czyli 6 na 10. I my tak 70 jest, czyli 7 na 10 i jakieś OC jest 64, więc 6,4. No, taki miks.
we know their focus is injecting DEI ideology into the product that they're hired to work on, but everything they're involved with just sucks. They've got bad.
Well, I think that this is really a which came first, the chicken or the egg. I think that if you apply the logic that you don't care about the vision of your story or your game so much that you hire somebody else to tell you what it should be, it implies that the story and vision of your game probably didn't matter that much to you in the first place. So you probably didn't put that much work into it and you didn't care that much about it. So it's kind of like, yes, they're involved with all of these things that are problematic or not successful, but the fact that they are becoming involved implies a lack of care.
Scripts, character designs, gameplay, I mean, you name it. And
Here's the other thing, right? Like, who the fuck thought it was a good idea to make a Souls-like game with a female character and not give her a fat ass? If you're gonna be watching her the entire time, who the fuck thought that? Really? Like, I mean, you look at the first Descendant.
Okay.
You look at Stellar Blade. What are we even talking about here?
it's got a
Prawda,
problem.
w sumie.
I have
Yeah,
not
it's
seen
not
a
even-
single
not
game
even a
with
question.
Sweet Baby Ink's name attached to it that across the board was fantastic. I think
Despondent, dzięki za
closest
followka.
game we really got was God of War Ragnarok, but even that faced a lot of criticism
People like the
because
game.
they did ultimately decide to race swap characters, and the story was much slower paced
I
than
didn't play it.
the first game. In the, of course, new. We assume it's going to be trilogy. We haven't really gotten any news on what's coming after Ragnarok, but regardless, that's the closest we've gotten to a really good game, and even that was not perfect. I mean, is Sweet Baby Inc. the company you call when your game sucks so much that you are desperate to find any audience? So you allow-
I think that's exactly what it is. I think the game sucked before Sweet Baby was even involved. I don't think Sweet Baby came in and ruined the game. I think the game was already ruined.
them to
No,
reskin.
no właśnie, to jest ciekawe. Jeśli gra była już wielkim flopem przed tym, zanim Sweet Baby Inc. brało udział i maczało paluchy, to jak to musiało wyglądać? Bo w sumie chyba jakoś mocno nie widziałem tego wcześniej. To jest ciekawe. To jest ciekawe. No niby ponoć w Flintlocku zmienili, kurde, tę postać z białoskóry na czarnoskórą i nie wiem, szczerze powiedziawszy, akurat nie chcę się wypowiadać, bo nie wiem po prostu. To ciekawe.
Cringe dialogue or backstories in hopes modern audiences will show up. Newsflash, they don't, because they don't exist. And we are seeing game after game after game release that doesn't have a real audience that they're targeting. Again, modern audiences do not exist. Closest group of people to that are sensitive snowflakes on social media, and they are not showing up to support products like this. I mean,
they're too busy protesting Genshin Impact by spending money in the game and complaining about it and talking about it all day. Yeah, they don't have time to play this game. They don't have time to do that. They have to virtue signal in a game that they've spent $20,000 in, and it doesn't matter if they literally, like, bro, that game could have like actual fucking KKK members in it, and somehow these people would find a reason to justify still playing it, even though they're complaining about skin tone. Absolutely. They are addicted to the game. Guess what? What a big fucking surprise. The people that are playing a gacha game are people that have no self-control. Wow.
Prawda.
I can't believe it. It's like I went to Golden Corral a few months ago. Everybody there was fat. What a fucking shock.
Shock.
Suicide Squad killed the Justice League. It had
You
everything.
believe
It
that?
had feminism. It had, of course, race swaps. It had very, very questionable character designs. I mean, that should have been a haven for these individuals, but womp womp
Grouse still
womp.
exists?
On
It's
Steam,
delicious.
it only peaked at 13,000 people. That's it. That's all they could muster up on this platform.
That's
It is
bad.
absolutely pathetic. Now, of course, when it comes to Flintlock Siege of Dawn, we have seen a plethora of problems because the trailers initially released to negative reaction. The senior
The
operations
game's just not that good. I mean, like, the thing is, like, DEI won't make a bad game good, and it won't make a good game bad. It'll make a bad game worse. Sure. But it's never gonna ruin a game. That's just the way, like, you look at the combat, like, the combat's just not good.
growth manager
That's just the way it
melted
is.
down over backlash and left social media. And then there were developers that actually reached out to Cabrutus, who started the Sweet Baby Ink Detected, or now it's called DEI Detected, Steam curator page and website. And they wanted to clarify that no Sweet Baby Ink content made it into the final game. But then he simply asked for proof and they never offered it. And now it's launched to, again, decent reviews by critics.
It's crazy that they did that. By the way, I think that's such a big deal. That they reached out to this random Brazilian guy who has a Steam group to tell this guy, like, yeah, by the way, this company didn't do anything. Yeah, like, I think that's very, like, that's crazy that it has that much influence and that much power. That's incredible. How can you prove that Sweet Baby never made stuff in? Yeah, I don't know what they could have sent or anything like that. I'm just saying in general, like, it's funny that it's they fear Brutus. Oh my god. It's so funny.
Basically, nobody
Surprised they didn't contact
is
you?
playing
Maybe they did. I didn't read the
now,
message.
I did decide to make an X thread on this, and people are already laughing at them, talking about how pathetic this is.
Yeah.
Based on the graph, the future for Flintlock Siege of Dawn looks incredibly bright as long as it keeps crawling.
Hey, by the way, if any of the devs from Soulframe are still in chat, this is what you guys can look forward to if you release your game with that shitty fucking gameplay. Yeah, you can look forward to 600 people playing it. And a video, people like, wow, this is really bad. And everybody else like, yeah, this is bad. And all the comments, wow, I can't believe how bad it is.
Upwards at this
Shit.
astonishingly glacial pace. This really starts to tell you that the people that we are against don't even care about their side. It's all about money and shilling. They have shown their hand and nothing is beyond being played. They do not care. I wish we could see the Game Pass numbers. I want to see them too. Obviously,
Dozens of people.
we won't unless they hit major milestones and they talk about it on their social media, but that typically...
Well, here's what happens, right? They're going to announce it if it's high. They're not going to announce it if it's low. Duh.
does not
Duh.
happen.
Well,
And
of
I don't
course.
expect it to happen here because I don't think the player numbers are going to be much higher. There really wasn't a lot of hype surrounding this game leading up to release. And even now, there's no one really positively talking about it, saying that, oh my god, so far the footage I've seen looks amazing. That's just not happening. People are saying good for them doubling the...
Absolutely disgusting garbage game. Womp womp. Some of the layoffs are worth it as sad as that is to say. O mój Boże święty. I never heard of this game. O mój Boże święty. O mój Boże.
Absolutely disgusting garbage game. Womp womp. Some of the layoffs are worth it, as sad as it is to say. Jesus Christ.
Players of
Flaming.
Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, that's big for them. Yeah, I mean, there's basically nobody playing that game either. I've never heard of this game. I didn't even know it was out. Yeah, so
Hope
it'll
they
be
go
interesting
broke.
to see over the next few days for kind of release a weekend
worse than
how
Concord.
the numbers end up going for that.
No, this game is not even nearly as bad as Concord, because this game is not a live service game, and there's no way that they spent even a fraction of the amount of money that they spent on Concord. It's like Concord is like, this game is like you're out in a canoe and the canoe tips over. It's like, ah, shit, you know, that's the way it is, right? And that's okay. But Concord is like you're the Titanic and you just hit the fucking iceberg. It's a massive game.
To nieźle, z tym Concordem też.
Players. I just
Totally
highly
different.
doubt it, and this looks to be
Concord
the
is
next
just-
massive sweet baby.
Concord is a shareholder's nightmare. You're so right. It's like, this is the thing that, like, if you're like a games investor, you wake up in the morning, you're like, oh fuck.
Inc. failure. Will anybody from this team take to
Oh,
social
God.
media and melt down
just a
and call
dream.
us all ists and phobes for not
It's
supporting
Matrix.
this game that has a strong, independent woman of color as the lead? Probably. I'm sure that we are going to see some individuals coming out and calling us ists and phobes, maybe even the media trying to defend this game. Only time will tell, but for now, that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone
Yep.
know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.
Well, there it is. And yeah, Ubisoft, it makes me, I don't know about this. I think this is crazy. Like, if you're
A, czyli jednak gdzieś tam temu. No, a jak mówiłem wczoraj.
person, that's crazy.
Swoją drogą.
But there's people hiring, where they're coming from, something that's so high profile is crap. I don't know how it happens. Yeah, there it is. Concordia, the name of the ship, actually had a disaster. Wait. Oh my god. I just realized. Oh no. You're right. Oh fuck. It's called the Conquer. I forgot all about this. Man.
Titanic. Statek nazywał się Concordia. Concord.
That just about says it, huh?
O mój Boże.
Oh my god. It's been 20 years? Yeah, I guess so. Holy shit. Yeah, no, the Flintlock game, the real thing is, like, the gameplay just didn't look good. It was a below average action combat game. I mean, it doesn't matter. Like, I mean, the thing is that, like with Stellar Blade, for example, if you changed, you know, the Flintlock main character and you made them generic white guy number 13, the game would maybe have 630 people playing it instead of 607. I don't know, maybe not. Like, this really wouldn't have made the difference. The game just kind of sucked. You just look at it, look like trash. Stellar Blade fell off the train, in my opinion. Nobody's talking about it currently. Of course they're not talking about it because it's a single-player game. It came out months ago. People played it. That's it. That's what happens with Stellar Blades, or with not Stellar Blade, but that's with single-player games. That's normal, man. Also, a Concorde is the plane is the same sunk cost fallacy. That's nuts, man. Wonder how people are gonna call gamers racist when South of Midnight's an actual game people are looking forward to. Yeah, but they've spent like 3 years developing that. Who knows whenever that's gonna happen? But yeah, I mean, it's sad to see it happen. Another game, another Souls-like game that I can't play because it sucks. If the gameplay sucks, nobody will play it for more than 15 minutes. You're exactly right. And I think that's what matters more than anything. Anytime that I see a developer that has like a good cinematic and then the gameplay comes out and it's bad, I'm thinking to myself, you idiot, you fucking moron, what were you thinking? Why did you do this?
No tak, bo w tym momencie trailery nie pokrywają się z tym, co na gameplayu pokazują i to jest oszukiwanie konsumenta. To jest jakaś forma takiego oszustwa, nie? Że trailer dopicowali, no bo wiadomo, trailery zawsze można dopicować, dlatego też nie ufam obecnie aż tak mocno trailerom. Gdzieś tam można się podjarać, ale zawsze trzymajmy nasze oczekiwania na jak najniższym poziomie, gdzieś tam no, są oczywiście wyjątki, ale w większości to się pokrywa, żeby nie trzymać tych oczekiwań zbyt wysoko przy grach obecnie.
Yeah, like, what is this? You play it's a tower game? Maybe, I don't know. Gameplay is priority number one.
Dobra, tu już nic więcej nie będzie. No, także totalna klopa w topa Flintlocka i w sumie bym powiedział, że bardzo dobrze, kurde. Bardzo dobrze, bo tak jak mówiłem na samym początku, ludziom się coraz bardziej oczy otwierają i nie będą tego typu tytuły ich interesować, zwłaszcza jeśli Sweet Baby Ink będzie maczać w tym palce, to jest przede wszystkim to, ale no... Miejmy nadzieję, że więcej tego typu rzeczy będzie się działo i że ta firma, czyli Sweet Baby Ink, no jednak gdzieś tam również zniknie moim zdaniem, bo powinno zniknąć, nie powinno być czegoś takiego, żeby tak ingerować w gry, no i przede wszystkim, żeby deweloperzy jednak robili gry z pasji, a nie dla pieniędzy przede wszystkim i żeby jednak nie ulegali gdzieś tam presji firm trzecich, no bo chcą coś narzucić, nie? Więc mają wizję swoją, niech robią, są kreatywni, niech robią swoje, za co mają w sumie też płacone i chcą zarobić za to, więc tutaj tyle by było.